School picture days canceled across America over the Epstein connection. So school picture day. Yeah, let's see what we got here. Here's one from Reddit. Picture day canceled over Epstein rumors. ... I feel sick. r/teachers. My school just announced that picture day is canceled tomorrow. Apparently, there's been a huge wave of concerned parents claiming Lifetouch is mentioned in the Epstein files. The school says they're canceling and having lawyers review the contract. I'm not usually one for conspiracy theories, but the idea that someone like that could have access to school photos nationwide is honestly disturbing. It makes you think about how Epstein identified and targeted vulnerable kids' families, especially in rural or low-income communities. This whole situation feels like something out of a horror movie. Let's see what we got here. So this is the guy, Leon Black, former Apollo CEO, which is the company behind Lifetouch. And he's not the CEO anymore, and he was personal friends with Epstein, and I believe even Trump there for a while. Let me read what I have about him real quick before I read the email. Okay. This is from ChatGPT. Here's some aids for you. Here's how school picture days in America, Lifetouch, and Apollo connect. It's mainly a story of ownership and private equity consolidation in the school photography industry. Lifetouch, the school picture giant. And let's go back one. Let's go back two, actually, for this. Lifetouch, the school picture giant, is the dominant company behind school picture days across the United States. What they do: school yearbook and portrait photography, K through 12 picture days, senior portraits, sports and activity photos, church directed photography. For decades, many American families' annual school portraits have come through Lifetouch photographers contracted directly with schools and districts. Apollo, the private equity owner. Apollo Global Management is a large private equity firm. They invest in and acquire companies across many industries. Connection to Lifetouch. Apollo acquired Lifetouch via an acquisition of its parent company, Shutterfly. This placed Lifetouch under Apollo's investment portfolio. That means school picture day services in much of the U.S. are ultimately operated by a company owned by a private equity firm. The ownership is easiest to understand with the middle company, indeed, Shutterfly. So basically, yeah, that's kind of like the connection here. It's not like super direct, but it's direct enough. I mean, former CEO is all up in the files, and the former CEO is not just in the files like for some like regular shit. They were in it for some pretty psycho shit. So the email is, let me see. So he's basically like gang stalking this person who was accusing him of rape, and I guess they were viewing it as like a false person, maybe trying to scam them. But the emails from Jeff to Brad S. Karp, who's just another dude, not this guy, just a random guy, just in the mix. Is she still being surveilled? Is she still in London? Leon wants to nail down the fact that she's a pro, have used Russian contacts, or have Nadella use Russian contacts, or... So this Leon guy right here, he's surveilling someone who's accusing him of rape. Have him use Russian contacts? Ooh, don't like that. That makes me think of like some Amy Eskridge Russian gang stalking type shit. So yeah. And then the response is, sorry for the delay. We stopped the surveillance Friday. She was in London then, and we're not aware that she left. We can follow up on the prostitution front, but we haven't found any evidence yet. Can you or Lauren actually determine the likelihood of bringing a real case against her in either London or New York? So far, I've not seen anything concrete. Leon thinks the case is viable in London. Too much writing on the fact for it to be non-feasible. So they're, gang stalking, surveilling, hitting up their Russian connections to help with it, trying to find some dirt on this girl to ruin her who was accusing them of attempted rape. So it's a pretty bad look for this dude. Pretty bad look. Let's see what else we got here. I guess there's some Trump connections. These are just, I found these on X. Kelly I just says, Leon Black is a monster, and of course, here he is back in the day with Trump, and their connections remain to this day. They're all monsters. This person says, oh yeah, this is the wild one. Leon Black's son works in the Trump administration. So Benjamin Black, apparently chief executive officer of U.S. International Development Finance Corporation under Trump, assumed office October 7th, 2025. Pretty weird. Oh, here's another weird connection to this whole thing. This is just random. I just included it. Did you know Epstein associate Leon Black's dad owned United Fruit Company for a spell? The line from the Dulles brothers, United Fruit board members who use foreign policy to enrich it, to Donald Trump via Epstein has no dotted lines. So for those who don't know, the United Fruit Company is why we did the coup in Guatemala in 1954. And I covered that in one of my documentaries. So let's just watch a little bit about that.
A non-UFO example from this time, showing the CIA's proficiency at shaping public opinion through psychological warfare and media manipulation, can be found in Guatemala in 1954. the local government had just passed land reform bills that threatened the United Fruit Company's land holdings in Guatemala. In response, the CIA planned to covertly remove this government. CIA Director Alan Dulles called upon New York Times publisher Arthur Hayes Sulzberger to remove all critical foreign correspondence from Guatemala, to keep the American public in the dark. In country, the PSYOP and media manipulation was even more elaborate. Through a combination of fake newspapers, fake magazines, fake radio stations, and airdrops of leaflets, the CIA began bombarding the Guatemalan people with propaganda and disinformation. And through this small network of media outlets that they had created, the CIA was able to convince the Guatemalan government and people that a giant liberation army was winning victory after victory in the countryside, causing chaos and protests throughout Guatemala. The truth was, there was no liberation army, just a small group of Guatemalan exiles and American agents totaling about 400 people. And through this elaborate web of misinformation and disinformation, they were able to immobilize the Guatemalan army and oust Jacobo Arbenz, the local leader. And when called out on these interventions at the United Nations, the United States denied any involvement, maintaining this position until the 1990s. Quick interesting fact about this is that during the planning period, the CIA even floated faking a UFO invasion when planning their psychological warfare campaign.
Yeah, so just random connection that this dude's dad was connected to United Fruit Company, which is doing coups in Latin America for bananas, allegedly. Also, thank you, Heather Panda. The link you shared for the stream on X takes you to a TMZ video. Oh, dear Lord. Thank you. I fixed that. I think, can I still edit it? Is there time? How long does it give you to edit the post? Yeah. Okay, thank you. I'm going to edit it, and then we're going to fix that. Boom. Thank you, Heather. But yeah, another thing that it wasn't saved. You can try up your now or discard it. Update. Okay, fuck it. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna do another one. Isn't it interesting? This is one of my little favorite things to do. This is 1954 in official documents you could go read on like Black Vault or any other places, where basically they were using the idea of UFO stories to, psyop people. Pretty wild, pretty random.